Okay, the last thing that we are going to do in this presentation, it's going to kind of, in my opinion, fill your toolbox with new things before you work on your own in slides, is to look at how you adjust your presentation to involve linking. So I will create a new slide. And after I make my new slide, I'm going to insert in my word art heading, and I'm going to call this linking. Links are fantastic. It allows you to go in and automatically cite a resource by just going directly to that resource. We're going to use this to do what I call virtual flashcards. This is an excellent practice if you're working with foreign language or if you have like an anatomy class or something like that right now where you have a ton of vocabulary. This will really help you to learn. It's also a college ready activity to help you to just learn how to use your computer to help with vocab. Yikes, I don't like that color. There we go. Okay. So with linking, here's how I want to start out. I went in, I know that most students at this point should have read To Kill a Mockingbird, unless you're a ninth grader and don't have that done yet. But let me fix this because I know. Now, you can ignore this where it's underlined in blue. I just copied this over from a practice presentation and you're going to find a random quote. So take a moment and pause the video, and I want you to type out what you see. So don't worry about underline in blue with evasion. Just type out what you see. Go ahead and pause me and do that now. Now that you have that done, we're going to go in and add some links. But before I can add a link, I want to create another new slide. And on this slide, I want to simply insert in a text box and add the word evasion. I'm going to take a moment to make that larger so it's easier to see. Because this is going to be a definition, I want to make this bold. And I'm going to do a dash. Now, whenever we're going in and looking at a word inside of slides, remember we have our resource where I can select that word, go to Tools, and then Dictionary, and it's going to pop up the definition. So all I need to do now is to select the definition from my dictionary, copy, and then paste that down into my text box. Now, clearly, all of this needs to be bigger. Let me select my definition. This isn't the best definition. You know, you may want to find, actually, that's going to bother me. I want to get a better definition. So this says the act of evading something. I don't think it's helpful when you're learning vocabulary to have the same word, but let's go this way. Getting out of, finding a way from, ducking. That is a better definition of evasion. Getting out of something, avoiding something, ducking it. So I'm going to go in and select that better definition, increase my font size to where you can see it better now. And the last thing I want to do, I need to make this match. The last thing that I want to do is I want to go in, oops. Oh, it's making me select. Sorry, just a moment. There we go. I want to go in and in a new text box at the bottom, insert text box, I am going to type the word back. Let's do this in capital letters so it'll stand out. Okay, so we have our quote. We have the next slide with a definition. So I want to go and click on the word evasion. And when I click on the word evasion, just a moment, I'm going to insert a link. I know you can right click, but since you guys are on Chromebooks, it's easier for you to go in and do mouse clicks. So when you go in and insert in your link, that's going to say, okay, where do you want to link this to? Mine's already been done. So instead of where it says next slide with an X, yours should have a drop down arrow where you can choose next slide because you're linking it to the next slide and then you're going to apply. So then when you click on that, it then links it to go to the next slide, right? Pretty simple. One more time, you're going to click on the word or highlight it, insert, about halfway down or a little more, you'll choose link, drop down arrow, and then go to next slide. Now that you have your next slide chosen, we want to go in, click on the word back, insert, link, and this time we want to go to the previous slide. Now, the good thing about this is that you do not always have to just go back and forth between the two slides. You know, you may be thinking, how is this more simple or better than just play in the presentation? And I completely understand that. But we do not have to go in. Let me fix that. We do not have to go in and do next slide or previous slide. When you drop down to your menu of slides, you're going to see that you can choose any of them. So if you're doing your Spanish vocabulary, for example, you can have those first 10 slides be all your terms, and then slides 11 through 20 can be your definitions, and you can link them up that way because then you can shuffle it, and it will allow you to go in. It's almost like creating a Quizlet inside of slides.